Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and happy Valentine's weekend, I'm going to say. And I don't see why, when Valentine's Day falls on a Friday, the festivities shouldn't extend into the weekend. Indeed, I am having a Valentine's meal with my wife tonight. So, every reason why we can do, and now Analytical Ninja sent us in this puzzle after we had already scheduled James Copp's Valentine's puzzle for yesterday. That's a reason, also a very good reason, for not having done it yesterday and taking it on today. But look at this wonderful design of black and white hearts, which we have never seen in puzzles in the grid before, all into a major heart shape. It's like a Valentine card from Analytical Ninja to the whole Sudoku community. And we welcome everybody to watch and to play the puzzle. You can do that. So there are links under the video, lots of them. The first one is to this puzzle, and you can play it in our software there, in the Sudoku Pad software created by Sven, who has the app available to buy as well, and there's a link under the video. It's very cheap, but it's very good quality Sudoku software. And we've also got all of our apps, which are very reasonably priced given how much Sudoku you get in them, how many hours of entertainment people have had for their kind of $5 or $6 a go, sometimes less than that. It is amazing. And Analytical Ninja does feature in at least one of the apps, so give those a try. Line Sudoku's great. Approachable Sudoku does what it says on the tin. And of course there is Fog of War, our latest app. So those are both available. There's some merchandise. We're trying to expand the range slightly and finding it difficult at the moment. But do check that out, as well as Patreon, where you can still take part in Are You My Mama, the PBN Institute's brilliant Sudoku hunt featuring number sums, puzzles. Loads of people have had a go, loads of people have loved it. What can I say? That is all true. And there are other things on Patreon, like connections and crossword videos. It's a great place to just hang out and revel in puzzles. But that's what I plan to do for the next, well, this is Analytical Ninja. Let's guess 45 minutes and find out if that is true. No idea, really. And I'm going to go through the rules of less than 3. So normal Sudoku rules apply. We are going to put 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Cells separated by a white heart have a difference of less than 3. Cells separated by a black heart have a ratio of less than 3, meaning the larger number divided by the smaller number yields a number of less than 3. Wow, that is a really minimalist rule set. I don't know what any of it means. Come with me on a journey into the land of love and to find out what the heck is going on in Analytical Ninja's mind tonight. Let's get cracking. Okay, less than 3. So these rows at the top and bottom, well, I mean, they'll tell you that black hearts don't function exactly like black dots because you cannot make a string of more than 4 cells connected by black dots, which are dominoes where the 2 digits are separated, well, have a ratio of 1 to 2. So obviously the frame of reference has expanded when we go less than 3. Actually, I mean, I'm thinking about this. There are very few restrictions on the black hearts here. Joan Jett's group. Yeah, I mean, what could 9 not go next to? It couldn't go next to 3, 2, or 1. What could 5 not go next to? I'm just taking numbers at random from the set of 1 to 9. 5 on a black heart can go next to anything except 1, I think. That's weird, isn't it? It makes the sequence of digits non-symmetrical in my head. Yeah, 1 is the constrained one. 1 is the constrained digit on black hearts. Now, on white hearts, I'm going to have a brief think about that. What we're saying is that they're quite closely connected, the digits on white hearts, but because of this difference of less than 3, you can jump around. So a sequence of 4 cells could go 1, 3, 2, 4. It doesn't have to be a connected sequence. And or does it? Is it an effective Renban? Because 1, 3, 2, 4 is. No, it's not. It could be 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 6. Ugh, I don't like the white hearts. They're not really restricting much. So let's go back to the black hearts. 1. What can 1 be next to on a black heart? It can only be next to 2. 1 versus 3 is too much because it's meant to have a difference of less than 3. So 1 in this row can't sit in any of these cells where it would have 2 neighbours and they can't both be 2. It's on one end or the other, and the same is true in the bottom row. And what I now know is there are 2 1s in the corners of this puzzle, and I don't know which corners. And I don't know how long it's going to be till I find out which corners. Okay, each of the 1s in the corner is sitting in its row next to a 2. Because that's the only digit 1 can neighbour. Now 2, unfortunately, on a black cell, a black heart, can neighbour, as well as 1, 3, 4 or 5. And that's too much to pencil mark randomly into these cells. 2 of these are 2s. They're in an X-wing, there and there. So that does mean nothing else in this column can be a 2, nothing else in this column, just as nothing else in this column can be a 1 or in this column, which looks very non-helpful in the final one. It doesn't look very helpful here. Hang on though. Column 8 has got 2 black hearts in it. Where's the 1 in column 8? Well, there are 2 possible places, I think. 1, yeah. Oh no, okay, sorry. Let's consider those 3. No, well, let's first of all rule out why 1 cannot go, first of all, in these 2 cells. So I'm considering where does 1 go in column 8. 1 can't go in those 2 because we know 1 is in 2 of the perimeter corners. And in the rows, it must be on the ends. Right, why can't 1 go on this black heart or on this black heart? Because the digit it would have to be next to is 2, and we know that there is a 2 in one of those cells, so there can't be a 2 anywhere up the middle. Now I'm also going to rule out this one, because if this was a 1, that would be a 2, which would force this to be a 1 as well. And that's not possible, they'd be in the same box. So now I'm left with 2 cells that could be 1 in this column. I am going to pencil mark across boxes again. I've done nothing else in this puzzle. Now, if this was a 1, that would have, on a white heart, it would be, yes, it would have to be a 2. Oh, I see. Even on a white heart, 1 can only be next to 2. And on a white heart, 9 can only be next to 8. No, I'm talking nonsense. I'm talking nonsense. 1 can be next to 2 or 3 on a white heart. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just getting my brain around this rule set and I'm struggling a bit. Okay. Now, if this was 1, that couldn't be 1, and 1 in the bottom row would be there. If this was 1, oh, hang on. Look at this group of 3 by 2 in the central box. All of these are connected, all of these cells are connected to 2 different cells by black hearts, so none of them can be 1. There we go. So there must be a 1 in one of those 3 cells in box 5. Now we know that's not 1, and now there's only 1 place left for 1 in column 8. I've got a digit after just 6 minutes, Ninja. What do you think of that? Now, this can't be 1 anymore, so we can get rid of those pencil marks, put 1 in that corner, 2 next to it. These aren't any good anymore because 1 can't go there, so we can put 1 in that corner and 2 next to it. Let's get rid of the yellow. And we've only got 1 set of corner marks left now, which is good. I don't have any marking across boxes anymore. And I've got 1 and 2 placed. Now, the digit next to 2 in both of these cases is 3, 4, or 5. I can pencil mark that now. Much good may it do me. I mean, I could, with a big sequence of 9 in a row like this, I'm very tempted in my brain to kind of work through all the possibilities for how they could fit together. But honestly, I don't think it's very restricted. Apart from 9 not being able to touch 3, I'm not sure that there's another pair of the digits from 3 to 9 that can't go together here. So any one of the, I mean, some of you will be mathematical genius and know how many times you can perm 7 digits. And the only ones you could rule out are ones where 3 is next to 9. It's going to be millions of possible permutations, I would say. So that is not what we're doing next, considering rows 1 and 9 anymore. So we've got a white heart here. We've got this white heart sequence and we've got 2 on it. Okay, let's have a little ponder about that. 2 can go next to 1, 3 or 4. Then the next cell, which can't be 1 or 2, but is within 2 of 3 or 4 because it's less than 3, is 3, 4, 5 or 6. The next one, unfortunately, gets out of this groupage. What is the next one? Well, anything up to 8. If this went 2, 4, 6, 8, that wouldn't break the rules. But it can't be 9. I don't know. Is that worth anything? No. It's really weird. Okay, I have to focus on 1s, don't I? Okay, where's 1 in this column? We can place it. Obviously not in that box or that box by Sudoku. It's not there because of the ones we pencil marked here. It's not there because this digit on the black heart would have to be a 2, so it's there. Now there's a 1. There's a 1 on this black heart going with a 2, and this 2 tells us which way round they are. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's a 1 in one of these cells. It can't, oh, can it go there? Yes, it could, if it had 3 there and 2 there. So 1 is in one of those 2 cells. Here, it's in one of these 3, and if it's on the black heart, it's with a 2. If it's on the white heart, it's with a 2 or a 3. Oh, that 2 is touching on the white heart here, 3, 4 or 5. And that's a triple, and this is a 6. And 6 must be next to 4 there. And these are a 3, 5 pair now. And the other digits in the box are 7, 8 and 9. The one with the white heart touching the 6 cannot be 9. Wow, so we've actually got some digits done in a manner that I had not expected. Now, I said 1 is somewhere along here, either with 2 there or with 2 or 3 here. 1 is up here. Is 1 there? That would be 2. Don't know. Don't see a reason why not yet. Okay, let's think about 1 being in this cell. As I said, that would require 3 here because it couldn't be 2, and 2 here. This 2 would be touching 1, 3, 4 or 5. I don't think I can resolve that. I don't see how I can. I've got another 1 to place somewhere in this box, and it can't be in this cell which has 2 neighbours in the same box. So it's in one of those. It could even be there on a white heart, on a pair of white hearts. Oh, this digit on a white heart with a 1, that's a 3, because it can't be 2. 3 can be next to anything it likes except 9 here now, which I just find galling. I don't see, once we get the few basic 1s done and black hearts that fall from that, I'm just wondering how much is really going on in this puzzle at all. Actually, then the white hearts will come into their own. See, I mean, this black heart, I suspect that's not going to provide us with anything. It's just completing the picture of the hearts. Yeah, I mean, already we are picking from 4 to 9 for these cells. And from what I did earlier, I believe that any 2 of those can go together and obey the black heart rule. So that black heart is not going to help us in the solving of the puzzle at all. Gosh, right. Now, I've got to find a reason to do more ones. Ah, well, this has become unavailable to be 2 or 3 now, so that's not a 1. Excellent, that's good enough for me. We get a 1 there, no 1 in those cells. One of these is a 1, one of these is a 1. It's very tempting to say this can't be a 1, because that would have to be a 2, and it would push 1 into one of those cells. If it pushed it there, that would have to be a 2 as well. But if it pushed it there, this could be a 3. So I can't quite rule out this as being a 1. There is a 3 by Sudoku and a 2 in these cells. I do not know how that's going to help me. These are within 2 of each other from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, 1 is not here because this can't be 2 or 3 either, because there's a 3 in one of those cells. So that's not a 1. So 1 is in one of these cells. Now, if I could rule out that being a 1, I can. It's on a double black heart. So it couldn't have both 2s next to it. So now the only place for 1 in column 4 is there. That's good. And I'm left with, well, there is definitely a 1 on these cells. So they come from 1, 2, and 3. The 1, I want to say it can't be here, but as long as that was 2 and 3, it can be. Now, if that was a 1, this would be 2 or 3, and so would this. Any problems? This one would obviously have to be 3. And, oh, if this was a 1, all of these would have to be from 2 and 3, wouldn't they? There's 3 hearts there. Honestly, it takes ages for me to do this. Right, that is a 1, so's that. That's all the 1s done. And I think that's all the freebies we're getting, and they're not freebies. They're carefully teased out nuggets of information. That is 2 or 3. That's a 2-3 pet. The 2 or 3 here is sitting next to something that can't be more than 5. So it is 4 or 5 now. This 2 or 3 could be sitting next to 2, 3, 4 or 5, annoyingly. This one on the black dot, you know, it's not 9. I don't know any more than that. I don't see how I'm meant to. Although, okay, this, no, it's just, once you've got off 3, and these 2 digits are not 1, 2 or 3 because they're all gone here. They can be anything they like. That black dot, that black heart is again meaningless from now on in the solve of this puzzle. Is this shape with the white heart in the middle? That's, no, again, these black dots, they just don't mean much. That's what's going on. The black hearts don't mean a lot. You know, we've kind of used them to place 1s and a few 2s. And I think the rest of the puzzle is going to be about the white hearts mostly, with very occasional references back to the black ones. It's so strange. Oh, this can't be a 2 anymore. 2 is definitely in one of these cells. This one, touching a 5 at most. The trouble is, if you put in the candidates, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That just doesn't feel like it's helping at all. 4 or 5 can sit next to anything down here. Ah, it's so awkward. Right, 2 can't go in those cells. Or those ones. Is it worth actually colouring in where 2 cannot go from now on? I don't think it is, because I haven't got anything else to do. Okay, so I'm going to red colour the 2s and yellow colour cells that cannot be 2s, just to see if it tells me anything, and it probably won't. Right, they're all yellow, they're yellow. That's just the Sudoku bits. Now, what else can't be a 2? Oh, those I missed. 2 are, yeah, I mean, this might be actually be a way to go. 2 is in one of those 2 cells, so they're not 2s. Obviously, the ones that we've placed aren't 2s as well. Now, let's try and find some other cells that can't be 2. If you did put 2 on these double black hearts, they would go with 3 on one side. Well, cell digits from 3, 4, and 5 on both sides. I don't know how this helps. If that was 2, this would have to be 4. That would be 3. If that was 2, this would have to be 4, and that would be 3. That 3 would force this to be 5. And that's not possible. Oh, it's this one. This is absolutely given. Now that that is fixed as a 2, this can't be 5. That would break the rule. That's 3. Ah, it's very available, isn't it? Dear me, I had a shocker yesterday. I'm having another one today. This has to be 4 to be next to 2 now. That, let's just... Since I bothered starting this red and yellow nonsense that looks like it is not the way to solve the puzzle, I'll carry on with it. Now, if I was to put 2 here, yeah, it doesn't work. That was worth doing suddenly, because these couldn't be from 1 to 1, 3, 4. So that's not 2, and that is therefore, and that's not. This is red. Oh, didn't tidy up which one of those was a 2 sitting next to a 3 or 4 in one of those cells. Oh, okay. Well, I thought that was about to get more done. Now, this can no longer be 2, 3, or 4, and it's 3 sitting next to 5. And that makes this a 4 by Sudoku. This has become a 5 by Sudoku. There's a 5 in one of these cells, touching what? Touching 6, 7, not 4 or 3, not 6, touching 7, definitely. I had not appreciated that 4, 3, and 6 were all ruled out. So that's not 7, this is 8 or 9, and we're not allowed, there is the black dot, the black heart coming back, we're not allowed to put 3 next to 9. I'd forgotten it. Well, no, I hadn't forgotten it. I'd speculated that it wouldn't be very useful again, except maybe once or twice, and here we are. 6 or 9 there. That can still be 5. These are from 6, 7, 9. We just have to avoid 9 touching 3. Such a weird little thing that the black hearts are now giving us. Ah, well, maybe if 2 was on this black heart in the central column now, it would have to be touching 5. If 2 was here, it would have to be touching 4 and 5. So there must be a 5 in one of those cells now, because 2 has to live somewhere in the central column. If that was a 2, this would be 4, that would be 5. If this was a 2, this one would be 4, and that would be 5. Ah, there's something going on there. I'm going to have to work more on that next, I think. Although it's actually the white hearts that are giving the information. This is 4, 6, 7, or 8 by Sudoku. This one, on the other hand, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, like this. I don't know. It's not really doing anything. These are from 3, 6, 8, 9. We mustn't have 3 next to 9. That, interestingly, means this cell can't be a 9, because it would be touching a 3 on a black heart. That one can't be a 9, which I know, but who cares? It's not really very interesting. One, 2, 9, 3, 5. So 4, 6, 7, and 8 to place in column 3. Now, that is a 6 or a 9 on a white dot. But already by Sudoku, that has to be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. It's not interesting. I start looking at this thing, but it's just not interesting. It's only where 2 goes that is interesting. So let's go through all that again. If 2 is here in box 5, that is a 5. And if 2 is here, that is a 5. However, if 2 is in this cell itself, oh, well, no, I don't know. That's a 4. This is a 5. Okay, so 5 is in one of those cells, and that's not a 5. I mean, it's really barely interesting, because it's not as if I've even confined 5 to those cells for, well, it's in one of those 3. I nearly have. I haven't quite. Oh, crikey. Right, 2 is on a black heart up here because it can't be in any of those cells by Sudoku. It is definitely on a black heart here. One of these is a 2. Now this one could only be a 2 if that was a 4. This digit would be 3 or 4. If this was a 2, this would be 5, and that would be 3 or 4. And if this was a 2, that's 3 or 4, that's 5. Maybe I need to focus on this being a 2, which I sense isn't going to happen, but very, very vague sense of that. I don't even know why my brain thinks that's probably true. If this was a 2, that's a 5. And the 2 is going next to 3 or 4 there. And indeed 3 or 4 here. That would be a 3-4 pair, would it? Yes, it would. If that's a 2, this is a 3-4 pair. It feels like it's interesting, but it just doesn't quite give me anything. I mean, I'm tempted to look up this column again, but it's never going to tell me anything. So there's a 2 in one of those cells. And that means on the white dot, we have either a 3 or a 4 in one of these 2. I mean, that's just nothing. It's nothing. This can't be a 3 by Sudoku. So if that was the 2, this is a 4. And if that was the 2, we definitely get a 2 here. And that's 5 then. I just can't see how this fits together. I mean, I don't think I'm missing huge things, but anyway, this is 3, 5, or 6. Oh, by Sudoku, that can't be a 4 anymore since I got this 4. Hadn't noticed that particularly. Is that any interest? 1, 2, 4, 3 or 5, but that can still be 6. Oh, let's go back to the thought that 2 here has to sit next to 3 or 4. I don't know. I keep wondering, if I put 2 there and 4 here, is there anywhere to put 3 on the black dots? And it's fine. It just doesn't have to go next to 9. There's so little going on with 3. And I keep thinking, because I have nothing on any other digit, that it's important, but it just isn't. Okay, let's go back here. For this to be a 2, that has to be 4. 1, 2, 4. That would be 5 or 6 only. And this would be 3 or 4, and it just peters out. I mean, knowing 2 is on a black heart in this box seemed like it was important, but it just doesn't anymore. Or maybe, if 2's on a black heart here, can 2 be on a black heart here as well? Where it would be with 4 or 5. That would use up all the 4s or all the 5s in the columns. It's almost interesting. But I can't quite make it into anything. If 2 was on this black heart, it would be with 3 or 4. And that would only leave 1 of 3 or 4 left for the rest of the column. Could that be there to allow this to be a 2? I mean, it could be a 4. That would have, okay, so if 2 was here, it would have to be with 3. Because then, no, because I'm not allowing for 2 to be there. Oh, stuck in a mire of my own making. What on earth is going on? Suddenly tempted to consider 9 in the middle row, which can't sit next to 3, which can't sit next to 2 in any of these cells, but could sit apart from it. And I don't know over here. Is there some reason? Yeah, the white dots, I'd forgotten that they are reasonably powerful in some circumstances. So if that was 2, the white dot here is 3 or 4. In fact, if that's 2, this was a 3-4 pair. We worked that out. This would have to be 5 or 6. Is there pressure on the white dot sequences then? Okay, it's quite interesting. If 2 was here in one of these cells, where does 2 go in row 2? The only place left is there. I mean, I don't know. Is that quite interesting? I hadn't seen it before. Maybe it's not. Maybe it doesn't do anything. 1, 2. So stuck. And there's something so obvious going on, like that can't be a 6. There is, on a white dot somewhere, there's something blindingly obvious. This can't be a 6-9 pair. So what? Oh, so this digit can't be 6 or 9. That's what. This is 7 or 8. Now, that could sit next to 5, but nothing lower there. And now, so that cell cannot be 2. For 2 to be here, it would have to be next to 5 in this cell, and 2 would also be there, and that would have to be 5 as well. 2 can't be here. There we go. Because you couldn't use both of those as 2s and fill these cells. Wow. So 2 in the central column, no, 2 in the central box is now definitely here. Those are yellow, and this is a 2, and we still don't know in boxes 1 and 2, but never mind. This is now a 5, has to be. That does allow this to be a 2. This is not a 5, and it's not really trying to be. This is 6, 7, 8 or 9 as well now. I mean, that was a hard relationship to get for me, that wasn't a 6-9 pair, and it seemed essential. I mean, again, apologies if it wasn't, but it seemed to be. Now, this has to be within 2 of 5. And that doesn't limit this at all. One of these is a 2, going with either 3 or 4 on the black dot. Don't know about 3 in the central box. If it was on one of these dominoes, it couldn't be with 9. That's all I've got there. In fact, if it's on one of those dominoes, it's on those cells. Imagine if I've got the maths wrong and it's more restrictive. Ugh, horrible thought. Anyway, 2 is in one of those as well. If 2 was, this can't be 5 anymore, so that can't be 2 because it mustn't join to a 6. So there goes our last bits of yellow, there goes our last bits of red. Those are 2s, this is not a 2, and I can uncolour the whole grid now because we've basically done the job. I could do if I could work out what on earth I'm doing, pressing the wrong buttons. There we go. Okay, so job done with the colours, and we've done 2s, all of them. And this 2 is sitting next to 3 or 4, and it can't be sitting next to 3. That is sitting next to 4. Now, there's a 4 in one of those cells. If it was here, this would have to be 3 at that point. This would be 6 or 7. I don't know what that means. It's the white hearts that are helpful. So look at this connection. That is maximum 4, so that's maximum 6 now. This can't be 9 anymore, I suppose. Thrilling as that information is. Can this be 3? No, because that would have to be no more than 5. So this is 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, proving its position. That's a 5 by Sudoku. Spotted something there. 3 or 6 there, don't know. That black heart's meaningless nonsense. Well, not quite meaningless nonsense. This can't be a 9 because of the black heart up here. So there is a 9 in one of those cells, and now I can rule out 6 from them. The 9 is going with 7 or 8. 9 in row 1 is in one of those 3 cells, which is not very interesting, but it keeps it out of here. These are from 7, 8, 9. This is 7, 8 or 9. Can this be 5? Yes. In fact, this has to provide a bridge between 4 or 6 and 7, 8 or 9. Almost got a triple going on. This is not allowed to be 9, 4, 6, 7 or 8. Oh, this is the only cell in the box that can be 5 for some reason. It is. That's bizarre. Right, this has to be 7. This has to be 9. Oh my goodness. 8 and 7 are done there. This is a tricky puzzle. Okay, this is a 4, 5, 8 triple. What is 3 is allowed to be next to any of them? Forget the dots. That's where 9 goes. This must be doable. That's a 6, that's 4, that's 8. This is 3. This is not allowed to be 3 or 7 now. This one touches 4 or 6. That's not very restrictive. But up here, we've got a 4. Oh, that's 9, in fact, is it? Let's just fully pencil mark this. This is a 4, 7, 9 triple. This one can't be 4. I don't know why I had this pencil marked as 8 or 9. I don't see why it couldn't be 7 at the moment, so I'm not taking chances. But the 4, 7, 9 triple makes this a 6. That's just Sudoku. This is 8. This is now 9, 7 or 6 to be next to 8. This is still quite high. Oh, 4 has got placed in the box. That is sitting next to 3 here. I was about to say nothing is possible, but 3 is. That's an 8. These are from 6, 7, 9. This can't be a 6, 9 pair, because that wouldn't be allowed. So that is 6 or 9. And 3 is not allowed to be next to 9. On the black. The black suddenly coming back to life. One of these is definitely 8. That's not actually doing anything. That's not allowed to be 6 by Sudoku. Let's do a bit more Sudoku if there is any to do. And there isn't. 4 can go next to anything on the black dot. This white dot, though, can't have 1, 2, 9 or 4 in it. Only the white dots that are helpful, or almost only the white dots that are the white hearts that are helpful. So, I've got a 6-9 pair, so that's not 6 or 9. 9 is in one of those two cells. If it's here, that has to be 3. This is strange maths in this puzzle. This can't be 8 by Sudoku anymore. 8 is definitely in one of these two. That's not actually doing anything. 2, 4, 1, 5. This is 3, 6, or 7 by elimination. What about this? 3, 4, 5, or 7 in this cell that's not actually doing anything on its own. Right, 3 can still be here or in one of these. If 3 was in one of those, this would be 6. I don't know. 2, 3, 4. This can't be 3 by Sudoku anymore. I only just noticed that. It doesn't do anything else, does it? I can't see how that's yielding anything for me. Is it this white heart? Or is there a white heart somewhere that I've got pencil marked and it's illegal in some, some permutation is impossible? That's quite likely what's going on. This is 5, 7, or 9 by Sudoku. That can't be 4 by Sudoku anymore. 1, 4, 2. 9 is in one of these cells. 9 is in one of these two. It's not there because of the 6, 9 pair in the final column. So that is 9, and that can't be next to 3 on the black heart. That relationship does keep coming back again and again. Like some relationships in your life. 1, 4, 2, 6, 9. Now, if 3 was here, this would have to be 5. That would be 7. This would be 8. Oh, am I using the 6, 9 pair enough? Probably. Well, yeah, it's irrelevant. Everything here is from 3, 5, 7, 8. All I was saying here was this can't be a 3, 7 or 3, 8 pair. It can't even be a 5, 8 pair. So if 8 is in one of those cells, it's with 7. And that's 6, and that's 3. And we'd still have to put 4 and 5 somewhere. This would become 5. I can't see it. Oh, this can't be 3. Sorry, that's very obvious. This is, no, not a useful pair. That can't be a 9, 6 pair. One of them is 7. That's not interesting. 8 was in one of those cells. I learned that a while ago. These are from 4, 6, 7, 9. This one, 1, 2, 6, 9, 8. I don't know. Again, 3 mustn't be next to 9. So if that was 3, this would be 5 or 7. Sorry, I find this very difficult to find any more disambiguation. I feel like I've very nearly used up all possibilities of the black hearts, revealing 9 not being next to 3. Here is the only one remaining. And therefore, anything I can do remaining is on white hearts. So, if this was 5, this couldn't be 9. So we'd have 5, 6 there. 3, 9, 7, 6, 9. I can't see the problems. If this was 9, this would be 6. That's slightly interesting. I don't see how this is happening particularly, but if this was 9, this would be 6, that would be 7, this would be 6, this would be 9. So 9s would be there and there and there. Don't know. Something interesting is still Ah, this can't be 9 because that would become 3 and that would be an illegal black heart relationship. Goodness gracious. So that's 7. Is that going to help? It takes 7 out of these cells. I don't feel like it is going to help. This is 3, 4 or 5. Now, if that was 9, this is a 3, 4, 5 triple. I don't know what that means. If this is 4, this is a 3, 5, 9 triple, and that's 9, and this would have to be 5. Can this ever be 3? It would have to have a 5 here. And a 4 here. This is the last possible 3, 9 black heart. But I said that before and I was wrong. I feel it's the last possible 3, 9 black heart. So if that was 3, this is 5. How is that going to help? This would be 4. You'd get 7, 8. 6, 9. I cannot see what this does. Is there something in the bottom row? That seems like a quadruple as useful as a chocolate teapot. Or in this column, slightly less useful. Or in this one, I cannot. Oh, that's not allowed to be 9, 6. Now, I've known that for ages. Now, if 8 was here, let's go back to that thought. It would have to be with 7. Then you'd get 3, 6. That would be 5. We'd have 5 and 8 here. That would be 7 and 3. I don't know. I have a feeling this is going to end up being 8. I can't prove it. I've got one more deduction to make to finish this off. Sure about that. And there's probably now a triple or something somewhere, or a quadruple that I can't quite pick out. Or some blindingly obvious relationship between 2 cells. It's this white heart is not allowed to be 9, 5. That one's going to be fine however it resolves. This one is under a lot of pressure. Although if 5 is in it, well, even then it would need to be a 3, 5, 7 set. Oh goodness, I just need one more thing. What is the thing? Come on, just be methodical. I said 45 minutes, it's now 45 minutes on the solve. I don't know. Come on, Mark. If 3 was here, the trouble is ruling 3 out of there doesn't necessarily place it anywhere, so even that is not quite a good thing to do. But if 3 was here, this would be 5. That would be 4 again. If 3 wasn't here, you see, that's why this is no good. Well, okay, for 7 not to be in these cells, it would have to be a 3, 5 pair. If 7 is in those cells, that's a 3. If 7's not in those cells, it's 5 and 3. So this can never be 3 in the final column. Yeah, look, that only leaves one place for 3 in row 6. That is not easy, I'm telling you. And 3 can't go next to 9 on the black heart. That's a hard thing to find, surely. 9, 7, I'm so pleased to have spotted it. And look, it is doing quite a lot of Sudoku now. Up to that point, anyway. Let's see, in this row, that's a 5, that's a 4. 695. 5 has come out of those cells. 3 can't be in them anymore because it would be next to 7 or 8, breaking the rule. So that's the 3. That's 9 in the bottom row. That does sort out the previously. This is the great thing about a chocolate teapot quadruple. When they get resolved, oh look, that's 3 in the corner. Then they really work. 9, 6, 9. I honestly think we're closing in on a finish here. In this final column, we've got a 6. So that's 9. 5 and 7 are done. 8 and 7 are done. This is going to finish now. Let's hope it's right. I think it is. I think that's all entirely logical. Wow. What a tough puzzle. I mean, Analytical Ninja has sent the Sudoku community his love there. But it was very tough to extract it from the message. What an extremely interesting puzzle. That setup of the shape of the hearts is brilliant. And, you know, this is why Analytical Ninja is a complete genius. Stunning effort. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon on the channel. Bye for now.